Okay, why? Hello there, dearest brothers and sisters and friends, family, and all other wonderful members of humanity, all ever evolving, ever learning about your sacred divinity and ways in which you can help to heal yourself from the modern society, parasites, chemtrails, all the things that I'm going to deal with modern day. So I'm going to just jump right into what the purpose of this video is. Just going to be sharing some information, factual information. Not going to be talking about any pseudoscience or anything too much from my personal experience that can't be related as factual. So what we have here is an ice, frozen water, frozen into ice in some two plastic cups. If they were glass cups, they probably would have broken, whether or not they were on orgonite. But yeah, so these are some orgonites. These are my orgonites that I have created recently, and this is the classic way to test the efficiency if orgonite works or not. There's a little piece of string on here. Not that would really get in the way of the energetics. So yeah, I would just like to show everyone what happens when you freeze orgonite with ice. With water, when you freeze water with orgonite underneath it. And by the way, I was just thinking about my intentions of this video. I would just like to expose the truth that there is a very powerful way to make orgonite, and the internet, it's not going to show you. There are a lot of documents on Google and whatnot, like a lot of people online that are trying to sell you something. And just so you know, if someone's trying to sell you something, guys, just know that they're in it for money, and they're in it for like they could be making proper orgonite, although I mean I'm going to tell you right now today what proper orgonite truly is, so that you don't get duped, you don't get tricked by these false orgonite makers. And I just want everyone to know that my intention is not to sell anybody any orgonite. However, I will sell it to you for a very reasonable cost, and I will let you know all the ingredients that are in it, and you can know that there's like barely any markup that I'm going to be receiving in the form of money. So my intentions are in this as like pure healing and health to every human being who intends that upon yourself. If you intend to heal yourself, well, I'm here to provide some information about how I personally began my healing journey. Not to say I'm perfect, no one is, obviously. These are just things that feel like they don't need to be stated. Yeah, just letting everyone know my intentions are purification, purifying our environment. And yeah, so let's just get into the facts now. Even though that kind of was factual, what I was saying about my intentions. Okay, so check this out. This is I don't know how I'm really going to film this here. Got the shadow silhouette of my water vortex right here. So that's another place and time, another video. But yeah, I just want you to get a nice visual. Check out the geometry. Now, does this look like straight lines around like a central point? To me, it kind of looks like either a hexagon or some type of sacred geometry. But yeah, you can kind of get your own view of it. Not as well as I'm probably able to see with my own eyeballs. However, I'll do my best to explain what I'm seeing in this. Yeah, I see like either a hexagon or some type of number prefix-agon. Yeah, like straight lines that are making some type of shape in there. And also, I don't know if I can get a better focus here, but yeah, intentionally just focusing on that normal water would not just freeze like this without orgonite or without intentions to make it structured with the intent of, yeah, actually structuring the water. We know that energy is basically just vibration, which is sound, waves being part of the same spectrum. They're all in the same spectrum together, measurable light. So that's what actual orgonite works on the same frequency bandwidth of, or the same spectrum, so you could say. So, yeah, cymatics, however you say it, the study of implanting sound into materials. That is the science of what I am kind of showing to you. Not trying to tell anyone anything, but yeah, this is straight up factual information right here. That's the first, like you can see for yourself. That was the first one. This is, and you can try it for yourself as well too, if you get properly made orgonite, which I'm also going to explain in a few minutes what properly made orgonite actually is, and who to get it from. I'll just list a few people's names. Like, here, I feel like I should be talking directly to the camera so you can see my honesty and my eyeball pupils. There are definitely some very, 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 can't even begin to explain personally how much these beings have helped me understand orgonite and just energy and just like higher vibrations, that I'm making this video for the purpose of like helping to progenerate these teachings that these wonderful beings have shown me. So yeah, I mean, these beings, that wonderful beings they are. I'll just put their names like in the description of this video, and they are people that you can buy orgonite from if you are someone who is hopefully less of a skeptic after seeing these ice tests, and if you are curious about getting orgonite, well, I would suggest that you get it from these beings, especially if you want to get orgonite that is more artistic, like visually artistic. It looks better to your eyes, you know, like I am definitely not the most artistic orgonite maker. I will show you in a few minutes a few of my personally made pieces, but the point is that I just want everyone to know that you can make functional orgonite, which can freeze water in energetically shown patterns and show that it actually works. And you can also make it look artistic as well. You can have the best of both worlds. Like there's like very wonderfully made orgonite that works, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'll show you in a minute, because there's just way too much that I feel like I could be explaining. So yeah, without any explanation, let me just show you this one. This is a second one. I froze on top of a tower buster, which is like another type of model or style of orgonite made in a not a coffee thing, but a muffin tray, I guess. I don't know why the word coffee came into my mind. There's a lot of chemtrails today. A lot of people cough when they're in chemtrail weather, and that's just a sign of detoxing. So also, I'll probably get into a little bit later, like some supplements and different natural remedies that we can use to inwardly cleanse and detoxify these chemtrails. Here, I'll get down on this level, just so you can really, I don't know, maybe my eyeball, this more honest thing for you to be looking at. The windows to the soul. You get to see my true intentions of health and healing, peace, purity. Once again, I'll relay that through the fifth dimensional waves, and you can see my eyeballs as I'm saying it, but you don't need to see me. You just need to hear my message. So yeah, you can kind of see it. There's a bubble, huge bubble that formed under the ice, underneath the ice. Now, when else would water freeze this way? Let's all just take a second and just think about, like, if you've ever been walking on a pond or frozen body of water. I mean, for me, I've never seen a bubble of ice form underwater. I don't know about anyone else. I don't know if there might be some people that have never even walked on frozen ice before. But you can just try this test. I mean, try it without an orgonite. See how water freezes. It's not going to form bubbles. It just won't. I can guarantee. And if it does, leave a comment. I'm going to be occasionally looking at the comments of this video, and yeah, probably more. I was gonna say more often than I should be looking back at like my past work. However, I'm just gonna keep dedicating my life to making more orgonite and moving forward with these creations and serving other benevolently intending beings. And yeah, I really do want to spread this information to other people, so that I'm not one of the few people who's actually making true orgonite, and yeah, that everyone else could have the recipe basically that I'm going to state in a few minutes, which it's a recipe for the most powerful orgonite ever known currently to everyone, everyone now who's watching this, and everyone who's yeah, I'm gonna put the names in the description of all the wonderful beings who you can also buy orgonite from, which is once again, it's much more appreciable to the eyeballs than my orgonites. And so yeah, those are that was the main like factual thing. By the way, this thing on my wrist, this is a silver pulsar. Don't really want to get too into what it is or what it does in this video. However, it is very, very thankfully thankable of a thing for me to be wearing at almost all times, and especially on chemtrail days. You know, you see we got the wonderful, divine, sacred animal being taking that sage smoke, brother. You got some cleansing to do. I know we were outside for a little bit. Man, they sprayed so many chemtrails today, which I mean, that does sound like a negative thing. However, just being balanced out with all of the wonderful ionical rebalancing qualities that are caused through orgonite, and just basically intending our higher selves to drop down in from the highest dimension possible through the ionosphere, I guess physically is where that energy would come from, and that kind of clears the skies. And yeah, so like so many freaking chemtrails that like I know that the whoever was like spraying them, I don't know what they wanted or who knows, but we always just keep our minds open, and we don't ever think of it as one way. It's never black or white. There's always just our existence in between. We're always in this lifetime to be able to choose our own intention of ways to look at things. It's never good or bad. It just is the way that things are, and yeah, we just create out of that. And this is the wonderful thing about having these wonderful bodies to incarnate into. We have 13 joints. We have 13 being a way to break out of the commonly agreed upon 12 cycle clocks, calendars. I'm not really sure where to take this point, because this is definitely a new thing that I did not intend to talk about. But that number, whenever it comes into my life, I just think of my life purpose again, creating anew. You know, there's actually another ingredient in chemtrails that most people might not be aware of. This might not be factual information to a lot of people. A lot of people might, I mean, you might not think of it as factual. However, there's no way to say if it's factual or not, but there's ingredients in chemtrails that aren't just heavy metals, and they're not just meant to like nullify us down, basically. Who knows what they're meant to do, okay? I'm not gonna even get into that, because that's also preaching or talking about like telling people things. However, you can do soil tests, and you can see that there's like heavy metals within like our lands, which seemingly mysteriously enough coincide with chemtrails being like a modern day thing. So there definitely are ways to detox these chemtrails, and basically, yeah, I'm coming around again to the point of this video. being the efficiency of properly made orgonite, we are able to feel the benefits of orgonite more when we detox these heavy metals as well as nanoparticles, you could say, like small particles that get in the way of our cells communicating with each other wholefully, and basically like forming like an intuitive, intelligent network within ourselves to basically bring us correct information in the form of intuition, which is like our inner feelings. And this is how we are designed intelligently to function as human beings. And so when we cleanse, we clean, we're always cleaning, we're always purifying, always detoxing. This is a necessary part of our life, something to understand that when we are fully always committed to serving our highest purpose, our life purpose, what we incarnated into this life for, like our main purpose, it's ever ongoing, we must realize. So yeah, so as we purify, as we detox physically, we are able to feel inwardly how much of a benefit these things called orgonite can have upon us, and then we can put together in our own ways of thinking, mentality. We can psychologically, as well, being like the next step up, I guess, one below spiritual, I suppose, if you're going to look at life through different levels, which is always good to look at things through multiple ways, I believe. Yeah, I believe that we are able to form a way to correctly view the benefits of how caring about ourselves, our health, our family members, and our friends can have such an ever ongoingly thankable benefit in our lives. And so orgonite is something that personally I got into orgonite when I was about like a year into like my what you call like spiritual awakening, I suppose. I had a near-death experience. It was in 2014. I almost got hit by a log that fell off a truck, and I don't want to go too far into it. Maybe I'll just explain it one day. But basically, it was like in the movie like Final Destination. I saw that movie as a kid, and yeah. So thankfully, I was like that movie. You don't have to watch that movie. No one really would benefit from that movie. It's just people dying in weird ways. But it kind of saved my life to see that movie, because there was an event that happened. I was driving to Newfoundland in 2014, and I just got a message from what I now understand as like an angel, a guardian angel, because basically I thought about someone named Michael, and I was wondering, like, why am I thinking about this person named Michael? And then like I looked up, and like physically I was like behind this situation in which my life was saved and changed forever. I mean, I never really talked about this. I didn't even expect to be talking about this. I'm just going to see exactly how much battery I have left, because a common theme in my videos is that my camera just goes out when I start talking about some really spiritual things, and so we're good. It's 3:39 p.m., so that is a very divine number, just to remind myself of that. And we are always at a state where we are in a spiritual state of our lives. Like, there is no part of our lives when we are not meant to be in. And it's all up to our perceptions, our perspectives of how we understand our situation that we're in. And yeah, I mean, not to tell anyone anything, but from my own perspective, I truly believe that it's very helpful for me to not look down upon anybody. I mean, that's why the camera is at like eye level. That we're all spiritual beings. We are all at we're all within this lifetime with each other to grow personally and then help each other. I believe the more that we help each other give beneficial information. So again, back to the point of this video. What is properly made orgonite? Okay, probably gonna put like a little title in. Like, let's just skip ahead to this part of the video for the part where he explains properly made orgonite. And so yeah, let me just start off by taking a step back in our understanding of what orgonite is. And so, okay, what most people understand orgonite to be is a mix of metals, usually metal shavings, and like some piezoelectric ingredients, usually quartz. I mean, that is what is. If you look up like on the internet, that's what it's going to say, and it's going to look something quite like this. So this is, I made this, and I'm not very proud of it. It's got like chipped. It's chipped by accident, like just to show that I don't really care for it that much. But yeah, this is what you might expect to see on a website like Etsy or any place where like these mainstream orgonite tricksters, usually unknowingly, usually they actually really think they're making like good orgonite. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna like make any assumptions, but like if people are making orgonite, that's a very respectable duty, and it's like a task, especially if they're gifting, like tower busting as it's called. That's a very noble activity. Yeah, just making orgonite and being around it, that's a very noble and it's a noble activity, I guess, or a noble thing to know about it, to know about orgonite. So yeah, purpose of this video again, just to show you ingredient wise, well, what makes this not so powerful orgonite? This is what some people might call orgon-not. I think that's kind of just a very simply and funny way to explain. So what is it? It is, okay, so first of all, it's resin. It's got some metals in it. Mine, I put like some copper, a copper spiral. It's supposed to look pretty nice, I guess, or visually pleasing, although it's not the real thing. The real thing is you might be tricked, you might be fooled by your eyeballs, your outward eyeballs, because they well, yeah, they're just your eyes, and they're meant to be there for a reason, and they can give you visual confirmation of things. And the higher sense, spiritually pleasing, ever infinite, energetic exchanges that happen within real orgonite. Real orgonite is it's much more subtly seen. However, this is what I would call real orgonite. This is a great example. Russian pyramid, even, they actually say this style of pyramid is 3 times stronger than just your regular like regular shaped like pyramids, like the pyramids of Giza, I suppose. They would be more like smaller, I guess. So anyway, the ingredients in this is what makes it powerful. So basically the ingredients, I'm actually just gonna list them, probably like in a title right now. Yeah, so yeah, definitely, yeah, we want to have, I guess, well, what's important to know about these ingredients, right? Why atomized form of metals? And, well, actually that's a little bit more complicated. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But yeah, the main 2 things, basically, the atomized metals and the tartaric acid, aka Rochelle salts. These are 2 things that you definitely want to have in your orgonite, no matter what kind of orgonite it is, what kind of style it is. If it doesn't have these 2 things, it's not real orgonite, and I would suggest that you buy an orgonite from someone whose name for the Instagram page is linked in the description. So, yeah, tartaric acid being the most piezoelectric crystal known to man. And let me just show everyone why that is so, why that fact is factual, why that statement that I just said is factual. This is a book that I ordered off Amazon, and it is it's exactly what the name says. So it's, yeah, piezoelectric effects of Rochelle salts, aka tartaric acid, the most important ingredient in properly made orgonite. And we can just flip to any part of this book. There's you can just get a glimpse of how scientifically written this is. It's got a little math equation there. There's a lot of math terms, and honestly, I do not understand a word. I mean, I understand the words, but when you put them into the sentences that this book has, I don't understand it. And not to say that it wasn't worth me getting it, because basically, if it's written in a book, and it's math too, the most basic fundamental law of the universe, undisputable math laws, geometry, what is created out of energy. So even what energy is like the basis of energy is just numbers and angles of looking at things. So this is where the higher forces also help to support us, the angelic forces. You could call them guides. They're just different multiple ways of looking at things, different angular views, different angles upon different things, different perspectives, right? So, yeah, healing, health, and purifying into this health as the constantly evolving spiritual beings that we are, when we remember our true one cellular self. This is like our intuition. This is our well, this is my sense of intuition that's telling me that I should just speak from my own experience. And I guess it would be better if I didn't really say should or shouldn't, because then that puts things into black and white, which is a part of this long practiced skill, or I guess a practice you call it. It's not really skill, it's developing into a skill, psychological skills. But the practice is called NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, so it just has to do with the words, or the phrases, the words that we use and the things that we say. So linking different ideas being like the quality of like transporting thought. So when we get thoughts and ideas transported into us about things that we need to share to people that are important, like numbers and things being communicated, like the laws of mathematics being communicated into their relatableness in showing how such a commonly misunderstood thing called orgonite, it's usually sold, and the type of it is usually misunderstood, and yeah, I really don't want anyone to be fooled into buying like false orgonite. So I just hope that everyone's kind of slowly learning a little bit about the true ingredients. By the way, once again, the two main ingredients being, what are they? List them again, please, as a reminder for myself. But yeah, tartaric acid and atomized metal. So I guess we can kind of understand why the tartaric acid, Rochelle salts, as it's known, is beneficial, just because it's in this book. Like some guys published this book. You know, I didn't even really realize this. It says Forgotten Books right there. Like that's like the publisher name, and it's also in like a really old looking style. This part anyway. This is like revised and regular computer type modern day font for the skeptics. But yeah, I guess hopefully I've relayed enough factual information for the skeptics that I can start talking about more of personal experience, more of a I guess hard to prove yet always able to intuit and always able to be felt by your own self, like the type of information being intuited is that which you are able to always feel within from your soul, your one self. And as you detox, as you cleanse, and you purify, not only the heavy metals, but like the other things that aren't so nice to talk about. This is what the silver pulsar is for. Then yeah, as to finish that sentence, as you're cleansing, as you're going about your journey, your purification journey, you're able to feel the effects of how much your noble duty of being a cleansed human being in this difficult or seemingly difficult to most people time to exist in. How much you can be benefited by things like orgonite and caring for animals. And hey, you good, bro? You good, my brother? Want to go outside? Did the chemtrails get sucked out of the vacuum or fall down into the ground and get at least able to be wiped off your paws afterwards? But yeah, as you can see, there's the sun is still out. It's not blocked by the chem clouds, and let me just show everyone a little bit of a comparison. There, when I put my fingers over the sun, in my vision anyway, I don't know if you can pick it up on the video, but yeah, you can see there's a bit of like the chem haze, classic residue of chemtrails. However, now, what is that wonderful color up there? Truly blue up there. Yeah, you spraying many chemtrails in many far range of a distance, and there's nothing to fear. We have no fear in our true hearts, because we know fifth dimensionally we are spiritually pure beings, and they can try to spray all they want. Man, it was hilarious today. There were so many planes, and usually, I guess, before I was on such a spiritually affirming part of my journey, I guess. It's always affirmed that we are spiritually pure beings, and everyone who is still watching this, you're also a spiritually pure being. You can intend that immediately, right now. Just breathe into your solar plexus, your plexus of your central place where you breathe in your knowledge that you're a pure being, and you're meant to be alive right now, and you're meant to be growing and evolving, and there is absolutely nothing that is stopping you from spiritually evolving and becoming like understanding that you are meant to be here with the people that you've incarnated with, that you've either chosen to incarnate with or agreed to the incarnational terms, you could say, the creator's contracts for you to exist at this time. You just like accept it. There was just like a galactic signature that you got to sign before your birth, and yeah, so I'm very thankful for everyone who's continuing to spiritually purify, and yeah, I would just like to share a bit more information about true orgonite being. I mean, that's probably what I'm even going to title this video: "What is real orgonite?" And I guess another point to really relate back to what I was just talking about our spiritual purity is that humans, we are orgon generators. We have crystals in our blood, in our bones. We have agate crystals in our spine. We even have another type of crystal, I forget what it's called, but it's piezoelectric too. So when it's squeezed under pressure, it creates energy or heat, basically being a measurable way to measure this energy. And even in our brain as well. And so yeah, it's all done through intaking this energy into our soul, or from our soul. We take from our one true soul, and we take this energy into, yeah, our solar plexus is where the best spot to breathe from, as known by many Buddhists and Tibetans and all the people who we never get to see or hear about in this part of the modern world that we've agreed to exist in the duality of the crazy chaotic part of the world that we're like the subtle, hidden, uncommonly thought of shamans or beings who are placed into this world to transcend it, to transcend the material world, and remember how we are spiritually supported. Like, infinitely, like the top of the 8 symbol being like spiritual purity. When we understand this, then we're supported in physicality, and we're supported in, like, yeah, we can still eat fruits. I ate some quinoa today, like, not to get too personal, but yeah, I give thanks to it as a transformational energy exchange, and to help me share the most beneficial energy that's going to help uplift and to reaffirm the knowledge that all beings all truly know about. Because everyone, you're on your life path, you're on your life purpose, and you can be synchronized into your life path at any given time, even in the most seemingly difficult situations. Like, there are situations that we're in that we think we don't. We're not used to them, they're new situations, and we feel like we have to work through them, like it's difficult to work through them. And these situations, they are necessary because they're, well, you can see them as like being part of our life path. Sorry, I got a little bit of snot, a bit of this chemtrail clogged up mucus. Let me just snot her rocket her out of here. I don't even know what to call it, but there we go, okay. A little bit of mucus comes. And there's a chemtrail up there that's going to be poofed away. I just want, I'm going to show everyone how quickly this chemtrail is just dissipating. Just to kind of like prove how good intentions and all these things help to clear the sky. So that chemtrail is actually, it's like pretty high up in the sky. It's more of an ionosphere chemtrail. It's actually not too far because you can kind of see it already beginning to dissipate. The line was pretty big, meaning that it, like the big line means that it's like a little bit closer in the atmosphere. But yeah, you can just see that it just disappeared. So either that means that it got sucked out through the space vacuum, or it's slowly falling down on my unknowing yet not even caring wonderful sacred being. Hey Yoda, you good out there, bro? You good, bro? That stick's good for you? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, bud. Shimon na kupot ko ya from the net. Mogal. Hey. Hey. Hayakatam. Karabara koko kopotat. Hi. He good. He's just chewing a stick. I kind of liked having this soundtrack on. There's just a few songs that are, I don't know, just helps me to like pace my. It seems like I'm making synchronicities happen as these songs are going. Okay, here's the song that was playing at first, the first song that we had going. It's I'll just link. I'll put the title, what it's called. It's solfeggio music, by the way. The songs that were before, I don't think they were solfeggio tuned, but it was just nice music. But this is solfeggio tuned music. Pretty sure it's 741 is like the hertz. That actually, supposedly, I've heard that, or I've read it, written down on my phone, and then heard it in my inner most spiritual voice. That confirmed that it is true that this wonderfully attuned solfeggio number of 741 is specifically known to purify and get rid of parasites. So yeah, I've had this going for a while, even before I started filming the video. So it's a little bit less of a distraction. So yeah, I didn't even intend to make this video long. Just really summarize and get in like the main points about the purpose of why do we want to make good choices in our life, which can help us to feel the benefits of properly made orgonite, right? Like orgonite is not always properly made, and there's those two things that you always want to be asking the person who you're buying the orgonite from. You want to be asking them, does my orgonite have these two ingredients in it? Being yeah, once again, I'm going to put a title so I don't have to go off on too much of a tangent. But yeah, you always want to be asking that person these two things, these two very important ingredients. And so, yeah, the piezoelectricity of tartaric acid, that's something that, yeah, when you squeeze it, when you squeeze the crystal, it creates a form of measurable light, and or height, as it's more properly etymologically pronounced, with the guttural sound of the GH sound is how it's originally meant to be said. So anyway, the importance, the very it's very important that proper orgonite has these two ingredients in it, because when we have UV light around us, then our cells, our mitochondria, which are beings, we're always being picked up. We're being picked up. Our soul, who incarnates into our being, is having to deal with physically these things. A second, I gotta get my dog. My dog's in on the leash. He's going fishing. He wants to get some food that my grandma left him. And my grandma's home. Wow, my grandma just got home. Okay, I'm probably have to end this video very shortly. Yo. He is safe. He is safe and is sound. He's back inside. He was gonna go for some of this classical dog food, this shitty dog food, or maybe I shouldn't speak that into existence, but because that's just what it becomes when he cleanses out of him. But my dear wonderful grandmother, ever so lovable, she likes to feed him a variety of foods, and she puts some outside for him, and that's what he was just waddling off to go get. And he needs to be walking strongly in his knowledge that he's ever supported, and he doesn't need to eat dog food, basically, from the dog stores. That no dog really needs to eat it unless it's like fully organic, and yeah, it has ingredients that are of top quality, just like orgonite. Back to the point again, thankfully. We're thankful to be ever evolving in our craft and understanding what true orgonite, what it really is, and how you can hopefully use this information to discern if the orgonite you are receiving or buying and then receiving, as it's always just a fair exchange, when you have your pure intentions to help yourself and your family members, and then yeah, you just understand these basic facts, that these two ingredients, atomized metals, tartaric acid, that's really it. Everything else is just up to you for your own like aesthetics, your own eyeball pleasure. So yeah, basically just want to show these two pieces, I guess. This is like the classic muffin tray, tower buster as it's called. Got all the, basically what's important to know about these is that, here, I'll get back in the full view. But what's important to know about these is that they have the full ingredients, the full most important ingredients that are within the entire structure. The entire piece of orgonite contains the powerful ingredients. And yeah, yeah, there's no space that's wasted. That's a very, very important point, I guess. Probably one of the last points I'll make. I feel like this video is just basically coming to a thankful conclusion that I just relayed all the important information, basically. As it is basic information. We're always understanding more about all of our crafts, our art forms that we partake in. And orgonite is just one form of working with energy, radionics, you could call it, being the science of working with energies, frequencies, vibrations, what we're made up of, what all life is made up of, yeah, bro. To see you looking at me like you mean to tell me a message, what is it, bro? Alright. Fine. I don't need to show them these orgonites. These are kind of distractions, aren't they? These are ones that I made. I don't know. I was gonna say that these are like not necessarily orgon-nots, as in like fake organites. They do have the ingredients, yeah. They do have the resin. There's like parts where there's just colored resin or not. It's not all completely like all the atomized metals. And, yeah. By the way, the atomized metals dealing with energy, dealing with. This is very, very, very okay. When I said there's gonna be a conclusion of this video, this information is never concluded. I could talk about this. I probably, it would be better if I just talked about it until my voice box just kind of like is able to slowly, timely healedly talk about these things at the same time as I'm hopefully spreading some important information about the very practical qualities that orgonite is made with when it has the proper ingredients. So once again, the people that you want to be buying from, I'm going to link their names in the description. And yeah, we are going to intuitively send another message right now, aren't we? What are we going to send? What is important to know about real orgonite, right? Real orgonite, what is the realness? Okay, yeah, it's caused by like energy exchanges. And as we know, energy is basically just physically measured as like small in size. It's underneath atoms. It's what atoms are made up of. It's what our beings are made up of. It's what can be influenced by the first realm of our intentions. Breathing into our pure intense. Oh, what? Yeah, pure intense. Purely intense, meaning like attention inwardly, and what we do with understanding what our actual reason is, our purpose, our motives, what we are motivated by, and yeah. So sharing important knowledge, important information, which can benefit the future of all of humanity and animal kingdoms. And all of nature, of course. We're all interconnected, all unified in our ever-ongoing lives. Yeah, the future. Bringing in the view, the vision of the future, and how we can purify our way for our actual new world, like an order out of chaos, but true order, and yeah, cleansing of the parasites, the people and the beings on the planet who just sap. They just sit at their friggin' indoor desks and they want the sun to be clouded, I suppose. Who knows what they really want? But the sun is not going to be clouded by the year 2020. It's just geoengineering is not going to work in most parts of the world because there's going to be people who are tower busting with properly made orgonites, and they're just going to have to stop geoengineering. By the way, they can crank the Gwen towers. They can turn them up like as much as they want, and as long as there's a tower buster that's there at the tower, it's going to be even more effective at purifying. Because the way that orgonite works, this is also important if anyone has like a little orgonite in your home, the most powerful place to put it would be around electronics, devices that deal with electricity, being like Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi box, or like your refrigerator, microwaves, anything that deals with either like electricity or some type of like measurable light, being radiation like from your microwave, because the orgonite actually gets activated when it's around electronics, because what really is, seen at the most basic level, is an energy exchanging device. So it takes in electricity and then puts out like in a like it's called magnetics, electromagnetics, I guess is what it's called scientifically. So it's Yoda. That's good. It's just the music. It's the music player. That's where the sound vibrations are coming from. And our intentions, spiritually intended. Okay? Okay? Okay. So, making a conclusion to that point, always concluding these beneficial points, hopefully beneficial. I know they've been beneficial to me, so I can only hope that you take this information in a way that you put it to your own ever-growing knowledge, and you're able to see these things going on in the world in a way that gives you wisdom, in a way that you can give unconditional love as the basis of the feeling to return to, that you can view any situation that's seemingly a challenge or difficulty. You can return to your source within your heart, the heart of all, which you channel all observances of any emotion passed through, balance with unconditional love, right? Is that righteousness you're at? Sure. Okay. Factually speaking, guys, what is the fact that we need to know about orgonite being placed around high electricity sources? Yeah, because it takes in more electricity and then it transmutes it back into basically a balance. Because orgonite, when it's made properly with the balanced ingredients, like a good ratio of the atomized metals, and doesn't even need much tartaric acid or Rochelle salts. Also, I feel like I always just have to call it by both names, but that's the piezoelectric, the magnetically expulsion of the energy, which is seen as like it's measured as actual ultraviolet light. So I'm pretty sure it's called like long wave ultraviolet light, and so there's probably definitely like ways like to measure this this like type of energy that orgonite gives off. And so yeah, just going again to facts again, factually speaking, we have this device. This is a device which I found it very beneficial to measure different spots in which I've put orgonite, not just around my house, but like around my neighborhood, places where there's EMF creating telephone poles. They have like these they're called 5G to work with that network, but anyway, not getting too much into what they're there for, but we can tell that there's like energy that can be measured from them. So yeah, turning it on to, this is the one I like to use a lot. I feel like it shows the most the fields which orgonite works around. So yeah, it's funny how I said this video was going to be done like a long time ago, but there's so much to break down. I guess this can all be saved for another time or another conversation, more two-way conversations. What I'm really just trying to relay right now is like my personally discovered best ingredients that orgonite can be properly or made with in an effective way. Because yeah, there definitely are really good looking, aesthetically pleasing orgonites, and usually like females are able to make this kind a lot better. There's a lot of very respectably divine females that are creating like wonderfully unreplicatable orgonite pieces, and and even powerful too. Like they even use the proper ingredients, like the atomized metals, and they make wonderful orgonites. However, as like as the responsibility I have as incarnating as a male into this lifetime, I feel like I have to get more into like the practical side and like the actual real reasons of why energy, why it is channeled in the first place, why it is so important to understand why the Y gene, the Y chromosome, why are we asking all these questions? Let's get down to the psychological basis of asking why am I giving this information to everyone in humanity, right? Like that's who I'm really trying to heal. I'm intending this message to benefit everyone in humanity, even if not every human is going to watch this video, obviously. There's very few select humans who are meant to. A very specific group of people who this information is going to reach. And why am I channeling this unconditional love and like very easily able to be sent to every one of you guys, but why do we channel it unconditionally to the forces who are not so easily able to be felt unconditionally for? Well, because that is the balancing emotion, I suppose. And yeah, what is the more spiritual sides of things that we're going to get to talk about? Near-death experiences. Why do we start to think about God and our life purpose after we've experienced death or come close to dying? Why does the thought about death or understanding that there is death, why does this activate like a spiritual searching in us? Why do we understand that there is so much more to the material side of life? When we know that there's like things to live for, and also very thankful, or I guess more uplifting, is to know that it's all a cycle. So death and rebirth, it's all going to go together. Yeah, we're going to be reborn. Like when we have spiritually purifying intentions, we're all going to create into, bro, I already told you 1,000,000 times you're going to be my son when you return. Because you can't live forever, I don't think. That's just my perspective, though. I think you were incarnated to just learn about the more medulla type of brain side of your, or part of your incarnated being, and then get to be more of like a human, have more different cranial nerves, and have a wider capacity to just feel unconditional love. I always give you in life. I always give it to you. I always give you unconditional love. I hope that you feel that so lately. And as my son in the next life, you're going to have like that very strong sense of, I guess, something before life, something that can't even be explained. I don't even know what I'm trying to explain right now. It's weird, like I'm talking to like a bunch of people, or like a few people, probably a lot less people than started watching this video. But yeah, I mean, just what's important for you guys to know is, there's a few things that I could relate this to, I suppose, just going back to orgonite. You know, this other book here, this is a book that has helped me in my life, and I no longer fully agree with everything that it has to say, or everything that the author says about especially about what he says about the practical side of like foods that are like acidic and alkalizing. And basically, this guy was a doctor. He existed in the 1900s, late 18 maybe, but like at least 100 years ago. Yo, you're good, bro. What do you need? Come here. You're good, bro. Just gonna explain the purpose of taking everything with a grain of salt, questioning everything, basically, you know? Because we don't know everything. No human knows everything. Not even me. So, I mean, the most truth that I can be stating to you right now is that, like that inward truth that we're all ever growing, that we're all learning how to channel our own cellular intuition, which tells us what is the most true for us and only us. And we can't, I cannot tell anyone what is right or wrong for you. I can tell you what feels right for me at this current time of my life. And yeah, just being not judgmental. We have no idea what other people's like paths are and what they need to learn and how they need to learn it. Yoda, you good, bro? You good, G? Yeah, now you need to go outside soon, eh? Alright, so yeah, this is a book that I had recommended to a lot of friends, and yeah, it's like a good mix of like spiritual understandings, or like I guess like a way to understand it like outside of time, you could say. The concepts of detoxing and I guess eating foods which are non-mucosifying, they don't produce mucus, which now I'm kind of understanding from a more holistic perspective, because really holisticism and understanding multiple points of view and linking like the best parts of them into the whole is really like the most widest perspective. Like when we're really truly observing and truly in like that Zen state where we understand that we're just like a part of everything, and like our souls are just like temporarily incarnating into this one seeming like it's like an ego that we get in this time, and like we can utilize like our nature, our cellular nature in this one vessel. And yeah, ultimately we're just observers. We see how to we see what we think and we feel about, and we don't attach to anything. Right? You go down there for a minute, bro? There's actually chemtrails kind of sticking in the distance. Not gonna film it or anything this time, but it's gonna be gone away. At least by tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be an amazing day. I mean, it's all just one day. We're all just in one infinite day. And yeah. And just sometimes needing to reincarnate it as get reincarnated again, get our memories erased, but still akashically recorded, still known on like a subtle level, or able to be known about, I suppose. We can access our akashic records, yes, that is actually a fact. So yeah, it's like, what are we having to learn at this point of our lives, and why is cleansifying, detoxing such an important part to then begin to understand energy and like the flow of energy within ourselves, and what can be channeled in these wonderful devices commonly known as orgonite, which is an ever-evolving craft. There's no correct way to make orgonite, and the orgonite of 100 years is probably going to be, it's probably not even going to be made with resin anymore. It's going to be like, there's got to be something holding it together, as long as it's like a physical thing. But anyway, the point is it's always evolving, and we can't expect what it is, and having less expectations then allows us to grow and evolve more. And yeah, just feeling like unconditional love is like the true like human quality that our souls get to incarnate into, to feel all of their emotions with ever capacity for feeling them. We feel them more through unconditional love. And that's like the emotion that balances everything. So yeah, it's like one of my great friends and teachers likes to explain it as is that we're like on top of a mountain, and when we see our thoughts float by, they're like clouds. So attaching to any one of these thoughts, that's going to be the dangerous, volatile as he calls it. I think that just means dangerous, or like it's a word that means like not so good to attach to the actual meaning of the word. The word. What is the word? Today is 5 days, so all about the words, all about the expression. I suppose that's just one way of looking at it, and that is just one way. So it's not the way, although it is mathematical and it is basic in its way of representing. So not to attach to any one way, and that's why there's different numbers, there's different levels, different dimensions. You can even say that there's infinite dimensions. That's another way of looking at it. That's a very expansive way. However, yeah, what is a good point to really conclude the dimensions that we exist through? I suppose like fifth dimensionally is like a way in which we can relay like actual spiritual knowledge. The second dimension is also linked to the fifth dimension. The second dimension being like vision, picturing like a view, like having a like 1 and 1 together, 2, 5, and 8 dimensions, they go together. You know, I don't know if you know what I'm really trying to get at and explaining here. So like, yeah, just inwardly energy. I feel like I need to expend some energy in a very like spiritually practicable, masculine way. So I'm gonna go with my dog, probably let him expend some of his energy, let him pull me a bit on his wheels of his chakras while I wheel along behind him. Yeah. Usually we like to drive to the skate park, but we might just go to the park, like the actual park today. I really like letting him go to the dog park. Anyway, just finishing up this video on some personal conclusions as just thinking about the second dimension. I'm in my 2 year. If you know what that means, then wow, good for you knowing about measuring your journey in years. Because that is a lot more specific than just seeing your life as just one life path, like as like an overview, like your number or your way of expressing your life. It's much more interesting to look at your life as cycles of ever ongoing growth and cellular remembrance. Understanding all the different members and the guides and angels and the angular ways in which you can see your helpers, the way in which they help you to become a helper. Because I know from my whole life path of being 5, I'm not supposed to be really a teacher. I'm more just a helper, a humble servant, an inclusive, a very inclusive member of humanity. One of us all, like a spiritual being who just helps to uplift my fellow men and remind our divine sisters that they are ever so sacred and ever so cared for beings with ever infinitely renewable energies in their own selves, and that they're ultimately the true souls who get to choose like the direction of our planet, like where our Mother Earth, like what like we should. Okay, anyway, truly, I just believe factual that, well, it's a belief that that women should be in governmental roles and even religious. Like there's no such thing as a woman pastor or like a priestess. That's an old term, like the term high priestess. That's a very ancient term, and that's going to be something that's going to be revived in the coming years, I can tell. And I understand this as I've had visions of what the new earth religion is going to be, a merging of synchronized natural forces and geometrically understood mathematical laws of the universe, very masculine laws. This is going to be merged like religiously into our understanding of like the divine, of how God or the Creator works to serve our ways of taking our cellular communion, like when we open up into like channeling God and then giving this energy into the lives of other people for their benefit and their ever ongoing growth, and learning about these divine forces and ways in which they can infinitely power their selves and reach a state of spiritual immortality. Maybe not physical immortality. Who knows? I mean, who knows what immortality really is? Who knows if we'll ever be able to exist in this one bodies, unless we like fully shatter our egos permanently. and that's a fun experience, like for a little bit, but it's good to like always return to our having an identity. And what do we identify with? Well, our choices that we make in this realm, how we choose to sustain ourselves, what we give energy to, and the sources that we take it from, being like, personally I believe like the most connected to source that our choices are, then like the better they are to empower our cellular vehicles, our cellular spiritual bodies, our metabolism being fueled by the downward realm, like fueling like our spiritual growth. So like fruits, vegetables, plants of the kingdoms of like, this is just my own opinion, of course, although my opinion always changes over time and I'm never strictly confined. You know, I don't even consider myself vegan anymore. This is a whole other video. I'm definitely gonna have a two-way discussion with one of my best friends about this topic, and that's just for the future. For now, I just wish everyone pure peace and love and harmonious existence within your own knowledge that you're at a divine part of your life. Your life path is meant to be here now. You are meant to be here now. I hope that everyone learned a little bit about properly made orgonite today, and I hope that if you choose to purchase some orgonite, it would be from one of these wonderful brothers or sisters in that I'll be listing in the description of this video. And if you'd like to support me in some way, well, support yourself and support your own evolution spiritually. Do something kind. Tell your parents that you love them, or better yet, show them that you love them. Show them like through just committing to spiritual acts, embody the practice your spiritual principles, and then as you practice them, you begin to embody your spiritual self. So yeah, simply put, it's like embody spiritual principles, and we do this through practicing spiritual acts, and dedicating either like our career path to activities which serve other humans. And we don't need to talk about it. I mean, for me, being a 5 path, ultimately, I do have to talk about these things. I can't just show them through activities. I mean, it all is like part of this human experience to perform these activities and to send energy to like the most ever so thankful, ever infinitely thankful, dearly beloved beings who I view as reflections of myself. I love you guys. I love you so much that I can't even express it in words. And I would just like to once again just thank every dearly beloved human being in existence, and every animal who may also be happy to hear my solfeggio-y attuned vibrations of the fifth dimensional qualities through which I'm invoking peace, love, harmony, and coexistence with our creative forces that are going to cleanse the parasites of this planet. They're going to stop these chemtrails. They're going to dissipate them. Yo, it's so freaking hilarious to me. I just want to show this because my battery's almost about to die. So there are 2 chemtrails. They're going opposite directions. Or you could possibly say, if you're still like a skeptic who's just miraculously still watching this video, still being skeptical about like the spiritual things I'm saying, like you could say that those are like some planes just flying tourists on their destination to a place where they're gonna have to deal with the fallout of like the factually known about metals and heavily documented effects that either spraying has had on our lands. Like you can take your soil test to get it measured, but yeah. Anyway, detoxing. What are some powerful things to detox? Well, I guess we can go into supplements and stuff. I've listened to them in other videos. I know, like diatomaceous earth being like one of my favorites. Like actual supplements to take. Yeah, the diatoms and yeah, just I can't think of anything like in specific. But there's so many things. Definitely different like herbal teas. We have all the herbs, Ayurveda, Chinese medicine also. Two different systems in which you can research and find a lot of good remedies for yourself, and ones that work for our ancestors' knowledge, their original findings of how these original plants synchronize with their DNA and help to heal them. And yes, we have the herbs, the fruits, vegetables, and like these are basically like the easiest ones to name. Aside from like, yeah, the diatoms and then things that actually like kill bacteria or things that are, you could consider them biological or just like trying to be biological, even as creepy as that sounds. Yet very real, and yet we must not have any fear when we go into these situations of dealing with detoxing, because the more that we just I think it's gonna play a song that has lyrics. Yeah, it is. Yeah, let me just. Is there a way to? How did I know that it was gonna play that song? Anyway, I guess this is just the conclusion of the video. My grandma's about to talk to me right now, so I can just see her walking in. So anyway, I'm just going to let her know what she needs to tell me, and